Algebra I Honors, Lesson 3.6, Ratios and Proportions, and Lesson 3.7, Percent of Change. So what's a ratio? Well, a ratio is comparing two numbers. Or two things, I could say. Lots of different ways to write ratios. Most typical is 1 to 2. You could also write it 1 to 2 or literally 1 to 2. Proportion are two ratios that are equivalent. So 1/2 equals 4/8. More often than not, it says young lady weighs 100 pounds and takes 1 Tylenol. Some big guy weighs 220 pounds, takes X Tylenol. How many Tylenol should he take? And you solve it. Make it 200, so it's a nice, easy one to do. So we'll talk about whether or not these ratios form a proportion. They need to be equal. 3 over 2. How do I get from 3 to 21 times 7? So 3 over 2 equals 2 times 7 is 14, 21 over 14. You can cross multiply to see if they're equal. You can do this, you can do that. Mostly we're looking for what's called the scale factor. We're trying to figure out if that exists. In this case, the scale factor would have been 7. That's a geometry term, and I always go back to my geometry roots, but at any rate, 2.3 over 3.4, 3 over 3.6. So this is not a proportion, because when I divide, I say how do I get from 2.3 to 3? It's a number greater than 1 by a lot, 3.4 over 3.6. These do not form a proportion. 8 over 9, 12 over 18. Now, here's another way to look at things and see if they're proportion. Reduce them to their lowest fraction. This would be 2 6s and 3 6s. That would equal 2/3. 2/3 and 8/9 are not equal, so no. So the easiest way to solve properties is using cross products. And I've had students call it the Jimmy Neutron, because you're just going to multiply those two. 16 times n equals 24 times 15 divided by 16. N equals, let's reduce, 3, 2, 45 over 2. And that is really the whole lesson today. If you can do that, you're in good shape. Try the other two on your own. I'm going to do them right now. 16b equals 63 divided by 16 divided by 16. B equals 63 over 16. And the last one has a little extra in it. Don't panic. 3 times 6 is 18. And 5 times x plus 2 is just 5 times x plus 2. That's really it. 18 equals 5x plus 10 minus 10. 5x equals, and it bothers people when I do that, divide by 5. X equals 8 over 5. You can check all of these, and you should do so. Hopefully you checked them all. Let's keep moving. So, this is what I was saying. You're going to get problems like this. Trent goes on a 30-mile bike ride every Saturday. He rides the distance in 4 hours. How far can he ride in 6 hours? He does 30 miles, and you can put units in here. You don't have to. In 4 hours, X miles. In 6 hours, do the math, go ahead and crank it out. You should get 45 miles. Scale of a map, another very classic. 2 to 9 from little to big. On the map is 1.75, that's 1 3/4. Cross multiply, 2x equals, now I'm going to leave this as a fraction, then I'm going to make it a mixed improper fraction. 7/4. 9 times 7/4. 2x equals 63 over 4 divided by 2 divided by 2. X equals 63 over 8, which is just shy of 8. The actual distance is just shy of 8 miles. Notice I did not put in my units till the very end. You can do it either way. Now, percent of change is something I'm terrible at teaching, so hopefully you've seen it better in the past. Percent of change occurs when we increase or decrease things, and we express this as a percent. It's one of those things that's been done historically, and it's like, yeah, this kind of stinks, but we still use it. Percent over 100 equals is over of. I hope that makes sense to you. Like I said, I don't get into this. Determine whether each is a percent decrease or increase, and then find it. Started at 25, went up to 8. Okay. The original is 25. The new is 28. So it increased by 3. 3 out of 25 equals x out of 100. Work that out and you will get x equals 12%. Percent means divide by 100, so we've already divided by 100, so we can just write that. Original is 30, new is 12. So it has gone down by 18. Yeah, this is a 12% increase. I suppose I should write that in. Increase, decrease. And original 50, then new is 30, so that's also a decrease. So it's gone down 18 from the original 30. So it's going to be something out of 100. We'll cross multiplying, and I believe we get 60%. And again, that's a decrease. Over here, it started at 50 and went down 20 out of that original 50. So that's something out of 100. I believe you will get a 40%, again, decrease. Now for these, I'm a big fan of just reading the question. What percent of 12 is 30? I don't like the way that's written. What percent of 12 is 30? So it's going to be more. So I get 2.5. Now let's think for a second what that means. That means 30 is 2.5 bigger than 12. That means it is 250%, because we went times 100 to make it a percent. 20 is what percent of 8? 20 equals something times 8. Divide by 8, divide by 8. I'm going to write my x first because I like it that way. I get, again, 2.5. We get the same answer, 250%. 24% of what number is 12? So again, I just yanked the percent out right away. 24% is 0.24. Which is, I need a calculator to do this. Could probably do it a couple different ways, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Thought so. 50. Notice it's not a percent. They're saying 24% of what number is 12. So if I took 50 and multiplied by 0.24, I get 12. 0.45 times 90 equals some number. Straight blast it out. We're going to get weird. 40.5 is 45% of 90. So you got some math on your hands here. You're going to have to get used to it. Like I said, I'm not great at teaching percent because it seems somewhat basic to me. So it doesn't really help students who are struggling with it. The field used by the NFL is 120 yards long. Length of the field used in the CFSL is 25% longer. So I need to go 25%. Notice I immediately make it a decimal because I don't like messing with the percents. Times 120 is 30. So it's that much bigger. So CFL would be 120 plus 30. It's 150 yards long. Concert ticket costs $45. Sales tax is 6.25%. So 45 times 0.0625. Gotta blast that one out on a calculator because there's no way I'm doing that in my head. We get 2.8125, which, since we're talking about dollars and cents, is $2.81. The total cost of the ticket means that plus the sales tax. So the total cost will be $47.81. Sweaters on sale for 35% off. You gotta watch these. Of would mean one thing, off means another. So 0.35 times that original price is how much we take off of the original price. We subtract that from the original price. Original price minus the percent off equals 24.70. Now, unfortunately, the way I've set this up, you need to know how to factor to get it. So it's just opposite of distributing. We take the x out. So that leaves us 1 minus 0.35. And that gives us a hint to another way to do it. We could have probably just said that means we keep 65% of the price, because that's what we're going to get, x times 0.65. That's 24.70. X equals 24.7 divided by 0.65. So the original price is $38. Gonna have to get good at this. You definitely want to practice it, know what you're doing. Percentages are tricky. Good luck, and as always, happy mathing.